If you're making good money, but you're saving for 5 different things at once and somehow none of them are moving, it's not you. Today I'm going to show you a simple system for saving for multiple goals at once without making you feel like you have to choose. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what to save each month for each goal and what to do if your current spending doesn't leave room for all of it. And if you want an instant and complete picture of where you stand financially, make sure to download my resource, the Financially Empowered Women Checklist. The link is in the description below. So before we get into any calculations, let's talk about the real problem, which is your money has too many jobs. You've got big goals, but you also have a big life, and I love that for you. So the fix here isn't guilt or being more disciplined. The fix is getting clear and organized on your goals and expenses by giving your dollars clear assignments. So what do we want to do first? First, I want you to list out all of your goals. No holding back, no judgment. Write everything down. Short term and long term. Just write it down so that we're working with something real and that you can envision happening. What are you saving for right now, and which one has the closest deadline? Let me know in the comments. Okay, so now you have all your goals written out. Now I want you to look at the time frame for each goal, because some goals are short term and others are long term, and the time frame actually makes a big difference. For example, a trip that you want to take later on this year, that's a short-term goal. A house that you want to buy in 5 years, that's a long-term goal. You can have a goal that costs exactly the same amount, but different time frames. So your savings for each month is going to be drastically different, even though the dollar amount is the same. Now, the next thing is getting clear on the actual cost. You want to make sure you're budgeting and saving a realistic amount and not a number that you just pulled out of thin air. So take some time, do some due diligence, and come up with a realistic number. For example, maybe you want to take a trip to Italy later this year. I know I do. And you just estimate that a trip like that sounds to be around $1,000. But then you start looking into airfare and food and tours that you want to do, and you find out that that $1,000 is really $3,000. So you see how it's worth it to do a little bit of due diligence up front to make sure that you actually reach your goal at the end and you don't fall short. So now we're going to do a little bit of math. We have the dollar amount that the goal is going to cost us, and we have our time frame. So now all we do is take that dollar amount divided by the number of months until that we want that goal to happen, and that is the number that we want to budget and save each month so that we can make sure that we reach that goal within that time frame. So let's do a couple examples together. So we talked about that Italy trip being $3,000, and we wanted to go within 7 months. 3,000 divided by 7, that's going to be $430 a month that we want to save. Now, how about if you have a really big goal for like a down payment on a house? Say you want to save $150,000 within 5 years. It's $150,000 divided by 60 months. That's going to get you $2,500 a month that you want to save for that goal. So this is why the timeline matters so much, because those numbers can change dramatically depending on the number of months that we're using. You want to be able to actually plan for these goals and also see if maybe the number comes out that it's not realistic for you right now. That's good to know. We can prioritize and adjust. So once you have your goals, you know how much you're going to be saving each month, I recommend setting up a different savings account for each goal. And this is for a couple reasons. One is it just makes it a lot easier and less confusing. You don't want to be spending your house money on your Italy trip if things are all commingled. Also, if you're a visual person like me, it's really satisfying to see those accounts grow and get closer and closer to that goal. And you can name each savings account so that you don't get them mixed up. So you can have one for travel, one for house, etc. And once you have those accounts set up, I want you to make those deposits each month automatic. So have it set up that they either come from your paycheck or after you get paid, you have it set up to come out of your checking into your savings, but set it up so that it automatically happens and you don't even have to think about it. Now, if you do these calculations and you realize that with your current income and expenses, that number is just not feasible for you right now, that's okay. We just adjust. So maybe we can extend the time frame. Maybe we will go to Italy in 15 months instead of 7. Or maybe some of those things that we budgeted for the trip aren't a necessity. We're okay with taking them out. That's going to decrease the dollar amount of the trip. Or maybe some goals are more important than others. So maybe buying that house is your number one priority. So you put the trip on the back burner for right now. Or you can just save for your closest goal first. And then once that is done, you can roll that money you were saving into the next goal. So you're going to save all your money for your Italy trip. Once you go to Italy and come back, that amount that you were saving each month now rolls in and is part of your savings for your down payment. So there's many different ways that you can adjust that savings number to meet you where you're at. But if you're thinking, you know what, I think my current expenses are too high. I feel like I should be able to get them lower so that I can meet some of these savings goals, then you'll want to make sure that you check out my budgeting video that I made. It's going to help you set up a budget each month to be able to save money and meet your goals, and that is linked above. And are you ready to get a clear picture on your whole financial life? Grab my free Financially Empowered Women Checklist. The link is in the description below. In just a few minutes, you're going to know what's working, what needs a tune-up, and your best next move. If this helped, give it a like and subscribe for clear, confident money guidance that actually supports your life. See you next time.